You have to start there. What the hell was going on that basketball court?
I mean, the guy called me out. I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm just going to allow that to happen?
Nope.
I can't allow that to happen.
Oh, boy.
So I had to
show him.
I mean, I don't know. I sent a message. Like, a New York street baller calling me out? That's so disrespectful.
So were you happy with your performance?
I mean, for preparing very little, I got like a million things. I got a million things going on right now. I guess, I was happy with the outcome. How about that? How about we say I was happy with, like everyone, like I was really worried in today's day and age that people were going to call me a bully. So I'm really happy that people didn't call me a bully.
Well, he was giving it to you. I always feel like whenever I play someone one-on-one, all they do is hold, clutch, foul me, and then wear my ass down so that by when I'm up 10-0, I got no gas left in my tank. That felt like that was a strategy for that guy.
Yeah, and I've seen him play before, and what you guys don't see is like he's got like 8 guys with him trying to intimidate you. And luckily for me, I have I had 2 of my coaches from my AAU team, Team White Mamba, and those guys drove down, and those guys were talking crazy trash, and they were 100% intimidated right from the beginning. You're not going to win the psychological warfare with me. And at the end result was no one thinks I'm a bully, so I'm happy with the end result.
Yeah, Scal, I went to school 2 blocks around the corner, and I used to go down there for free entertainment when I was broke in college and watch games at West Fourth, and it's awesome. And your trash talking level, and you're like acting like Maximus, just like yelling at the crowd, like I'm closer to LeBron than you're close to me. Like you took it up a notch, and it was impressive. I was worried like that, just sort of having to go cold out in the court, that maybe you were gonna like pull a hammy.
Oh no, I play like enough. You know what I mean? Like I jump in with my team. Like I have a workout later on today with like some of my players, and I get in just enough to know, like nowadays you don't just pull a hammy. You actually know, like, oh man, I'm like a little bit tight. But I made sure that I took care. The only way he was going to beat me was if I got hurt. So I just made sure I warmed up. Another thing, like when I was warming up, he was like, check ball. Like he was getting all mad at me.
I love it.
When you're like, talk to Ted. When you're a pro or former pro, you're not skipping steps, man. You're taking your time. You're doing what you need to do, man. It's just like you get in a routine. I don't care what I look like. I'm not like Jim Carrey and Cable Guy with like running the line, but I don't care what I look like. I'm not pulling a muscle. I know the proper steps to go through. And he was getting mad at me for warming up.
Which is great. Did you ever go to Rucker Park, by the way?
I've been there once. As a net player, and the game wasn't that good, so I didn't play in it, but I've never played at Rucker.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Is this a little thing? I felt like that court should have had chain nets.
Yeah, it should have.
Yeah.
That was missing.
Do courts ever have chain nets anymore?
No, you know what? It's a huge liability. Like the hooks end up grabbing people and hands and stuff like that. So they do a good job. I think nowadays people come through and they get kind of worn out, and they think those nets look good. They were fresh, and you don't always see that. Sometimes you don't get nets, but no, that ended up being like a pretty good event.
So last question on this, because I always think about this when I do something that might be on the internet or might be dumb or maybe both. What was the reaction of like your wife, your son, Drew Carter, your boys, people in your world when the video went viral?
Yeah, so it's very different. all the people you named, except for my wife, like, she's like, your kids go to a school. Like, I live in Dover. Like
you must have gotten so much cred for this, dude.
Oh yeah, street of dudes like you and normal, like like the dudes on the street. Yeah, but I do have a wife. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, your wife is always like the one that's not going to understand like the whole thing. She's just not. Like, she doesn't get it. Like, she doesn't understand. Like I'm trying to explain to her, like, babe, I'm not that special of a human being. I got to do crazy stuff so people think I'm relevant. Like, she doesn't understand it. She's like, why doesn't everyone like you? I like you, but no, it's not like that, babe. If I didn't play this dude one-on-one, I don't have street cred. So everybody was cool. Like, all my boys were texting me. They're crying emojis like, oh, man, way to give it to him. All that's been good. I was at the Garden last night. I didn't do the game. I was just, like, sitting there chilling. Dad's side quest. Like, whatever he wants to do, just go ahead. So that was but, for the most part, the reaction, probably the same reaction you guys had, probably funny, laughing, and like, oh, man, street cred on 100. That's pretty much what it's been.
Hey, Scal, you were at the game. Being a public figure, everyone knows where you're at. So we all knew that you were at the game for your birthday last night. In attendance, just watching the game. No JT, no JB, excuse me, and it no problem. I mean, you see Drew Holiday step up, Derek White. Just your thoughts from last night's game. Anything stand out to you watching that game last night? Even Baylor Scheierman comes in and does what he did. Just your big takeaway from last night's game.
Yeah, my takeaway last night has been the same takeaway for the last ever since like Pritchard and White went for 40. It's like, how amazing of a luxury does Coach Mazzulla, Brad Stevens, Celtic fans, whatever you want to say, that our best players could sit out. And Derek White didn't play well. Initially made some shots late. Peyton Pritchard didn't do a crazy Peyton Pritchard day, and Baylor Scheierman, a guy who no one probably expected to do that, goes off for 20, and that is. We have a Drew Peterson that can go off. We have all kinds of different players. I think Jordan Walsh has won us a game this year, and it's just that's a testament to Brad and Joe Mazzulla and the coaching staff. Like, it's not easy to stay ready, and like from a guy that's like I was on the in the rotation, out of the rotation, it's hard to stay ready, and it seems like these guys, or Joe Mazzulla, they all push the right buttons, and they go with the guys who are playing with energy. And, in Boston, you can have a name outside of Tatum and Brown, but, I've seen Pritchard finish a game where Holiday was sitting. I've seen him, I think it was in the second quarter? No, the fourth quarter. You see how Joe Mazzulla just, like, sat Derek White out a lot and allowed other guys to play out. Like, that stuff is – I think that's exactly what you want to do from your bench, is like play certain guys, and when they're rolling, try to maximize every second you can from them. And I thought that was a good example of that. It does seem like we're always intrigued by this team when they have their guys sitting out. We always get these great performances by this individual or that individual, and it's another example of that. I mean, we're really good, and we were playing the Nets, so I get all that, but it is cool to see like the different chances that everyone has kind of gone through and had their moment throughout this season. And we make fun of it, me and Drew, say who's going to step up to this, like a cliche, but literally like a different guy steps up all the time. And I think that's a really cool thing and a really cool luxury to have if you're a Celtic fan and all that.
Oh, Brian Scalabrine joining us here on WEEI Afternoons. Baylor Scheierman had a big game. Is there any chance that he has a role with this team in the postseason? Was that a taste of things to come, or is this just fun at the end of the season, and then we'll get to the short bench and rotation?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have a short bench, but it's all about momentum. It's momentum and what he could carry over. If it's can he carry it through the postseason and get a chance to play 2 minutes? What about go to summer league and have a big summer league? He started out really slow, missing a lot of shots and stuff like that. So, can he carry this momentum into being like the player that you want him to be? So I think that's more than anything. Anybody that plays well right now is looking at it like that. And you never know what it looks like an off season looks like with trades and everything like that. I'm not saying he's going to get traded. I'm just saying you never know. But, but I do think like knowing that you have a guy that can do that, it might give you kind of some luxuries, moving forward. We are a team that's in that second apron. So you just never know what a team or the Celtics are going to decide to do to save salary or anything like that. It could be give Baylor Scheierman a bigger role, or teams are really interested in him. You can move him for somebody else. You never know what offseason is going to look like. But it's good that he played well. I'm not sure that. I think like Peyton Pritchard is going to be fighting for minutes in this thing. Like that's just how the playoffs go, and maybe even Sam Hauser at that point, right? So I think looking at this team, it's a good thing for him. He's got to continue to get some momentum, but we'll see what the summer kind of looks like.
It was an exciting performance, though, to say the least. The crowd without the two big stars there last night.
His first three, he's given the chef's kiss after the first three.
But he's got a beautiful step back three. It's such an easy stroke, too, Scal. Like, I understand he's not going to probably get rotational time, but it's nice to know you have that kind of depth there. Speaking, though, Go, please.
And just just to complete that circle, it's like he didn't shoot it well at the beginning. He was thumbing the ball or anything. And your guys are exactly right. His shot is, I don't know if he's improved or is he back to where he was in college or whatever, but man, it looks faster, quicker. How about the one he caught and didn't even bring it down? There's some improvement there, and that's awesome that he's putting in the work and getting his chance to show it.
And regarding the starters and the stars the rest of the way, how do you expect the, for lack of better phrasing, load management to be with Tatum and especially Brown? Like 14 games to go, none of them a must win. They're pretty much locked into the 2 spot, which is where we all want to see them before the play or heading into the playoffs. So how do you expect Missoula to handle rolling out the stars and the starters the rest of the way?
Yeah, you know what? I expect like a couple staggering, let's say Tatum and Brown staggering, but I expect there to be a few games where they try their rotational minutes right from the start of the game and all the way probably through the third quarter. So rotational minutes in the playoffs for Jason Tatum would probably be 18 minutes straight. So you'll probably bounce on the 2 timeouts in the first quarter, go through the quarter, get to that 7-minute mark under 7, and then he'll probably go out. So like something like you'll see the guys do that. You'll see them what they play big minutes in the third quarter, and then probably maybe sit them for the fourth quarter. I kind of think they're going to start trending upwards. Remember, those guys are going to be playing probably 40 minutes a night, 42 minutes a night. You have to build up to that. You can't just all of a sudden just go to that. So we might see a lot of that, like those guys stretching their minutes out as opposed to playing like the short stints that they currently do right now. So probably, you'll see this group healthy and we'll see them like, all right, this is our playoff rotation and we'll probably do it for 3 quarters.
Scal, I made the argument today in my opening take that, I just feel like, especially if they face OKC in the finals, that Kristaps Porzingis is a very, very much an important player for this team. Last night he was just playing out of his mind. 25 points, he was a plus 12, 3 blocks. What do you think's more important from him? Do you think his offense or his interior defense is more important for this team?
Defense, yeah. I think offensively we can pick up the slack no matter what, and the numbers would show it. But our restricted area defense, when he has played, has always been 1 or 2 when he's in the game. And what's amazing is in the games that he plays, even when he's off the floor, our interior defense is a lot better. So when you're playing against Oklahoma City, I totally think they drive the ball more than anybody. You have to be selective with your help so you're not in rotation the whole time, and having Porzingis at the rim would be a big factor. So I'm 100% with you. If you're going to beat them, and I say the Cavs as well, I think those two, Porzingis wasn't as important to the team last year. Like we probably could have won a championship without him. I don't think that we would win a championship without Porzingis this year. I just feel like if we play Cleveland in the finals and Oklahoma City in the conference finals, like in a way, he becomes one of the more valuable pieces for us because it's in the NBA. Guys are just deterred from driving when they see a 7-3 shot blocker in there. They don't even go to gather and score. They almost drive to pass, and that is a massive difference for your team. And it allows Al Horford to slide into his role. So I'm with you. I just think that the East is better because of Cleveland. The West is Oklahoma City's way better than Dallas was last year. Mm-hmm. And if we face them, Porzingis is going to be a necessity.
Scal, it's 65 games for the All-NBA and the awards, right? You have to play in 65. Is that right? So with Jaylen Brown at 56 games, is that a consideration for him? Is that a consideration by the team to get him over that 65 for potential All-NBA or anything like that?
I don't know. He already got the Supermax contract when he was. Yep. Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to if he has back spasms, I don't know if they're going to push it just to get All NBA. The thing that Jaylen Brown has openly talked about is making All Defensive Team, and you won't be able to do that if you don't play the 65 games. But yeah, I think I'm not sure that that's high on their priority list. I think it's health. Getting right, working your body up. You don't want Jaylen Brown to sit out and not play until you go to the playoffs. But I don't know if how many games you say he's 9 away with 15 to go.
Yeah,
he'll probably get 9. They want guys to be playing right now. You don't want guys sitting out like that. So I think just from the standpoint of getting ready for the playoffs, you want to start ramping guys up. So if let's just say that back lingers for a day, one more game. Let's just say it. I still think they'll be kind of ramping him up, and he'll be able to hit that number. And then it's just a matter of if the voters want to vote him all defense.
All right, Scal, we got to wish you happy birthday. We're a day late.
Brother.
Happy
Birthday, big guy.
But the only thing I could think of is I'm watching the game last night. You get the game off. It's your birthday, and where do you go? To watch the Celtics? There was nothing else you wanted to do?
I mean, my life is like really simple. Like I know it's like you guys. Everyone says it, but it's like I don't really have any hobbies and stuff. Like earlier in that day, I worked out some of my like varsity players for Team White Mamba, and I got a little chance to take a nap. And I'm like, what else do I have in my life besides this? I have my family, and they wanted to go. I don't have like hobbies. I keep trying to tell people that, and everyone wonders, what do you do? Like right now, I'm gonna go work my son out, and then I go work out from 6 to 7:30. So this is what I do. Like this, there's nothing else in my life right now. I have my family and I have basketball. So that's where else would I want to go besides the Celtic games?
There you go, buddy.
Perfect. You love what you love.